Is this the October surprise everyone's been expecting? Hey everyone, Andre here on a weekend evening no less, because there is some pretty big news seemingly happening in the Pokemon and Nintendo communities right now as a result of an apparent leak of over a terabyte in size. So we're talking basically a leak on the scale of the Gigaleak that Nintendo suffered a few years ago, which is pretty wild. That doesn't happen to Nintendo-owned companies all that often. So given the nature of this leak, we of course won't be pointing to where to find these files yourself. Apparently they were possibly accessed through a dev or admin account at a Nintendo developer portal. Now, this is all coming in hot and fast, so we don't know the full nature and full extent of these leaks, and to that extent, we won't be covering all of it either. But with that out of the way, let's go and get to the news, including some Switch 2 confirmations. And we'll start off with the least spoilery one, which is apparently the fact that this leak evidently confirms that the Switch 2's codename is indeed Ounces. I believe that had been rumored before. This seemingly backs it up that the Switch 2's codename is Ounces, which is a bit odd and unusual, but codenames often are, with the Switches being NX itself. But there you go, that seemingly confirms again Ounces is a codename for Switch 2. Now speaking of Switch 2, we actually did get some news about a possible Pokemon game coming to it as part of this, because there are 3 codenames that were leaked here that we didn't know about before. Those are Ikagu, I believe, I'm probably mispronouncing that one. So Ikagu, Gaia, and Synapse. Now Ikagu actually applies to Pokemon Legends ZA, or Z to A, which we already knew about, but we did learn some information here, which apparently is the fact that it may be Switch exclusive, meaning they are not making a Switch 2 version. The Switch version, of course, may work on Switch 2 already if it's backwards compatible, but it seems like it is being geared primarily for Switch 1. The next codename, being Gaia, apparently refers to Pokemon Gen 10, so the next major Pokemon generation, of which, of course, there are 2 versions, apparently codenamed K and N, and this, based on the leak, apparently is going to be Switch 2 exclusive. Now, there are already some people in the Pokemon community refuting that, saying that it is also coming to Switch 1. I don't know what the case is here. Again, I'm only reporting what's been going around on Twitter. That's pretty much everywhere at this point, but there you go. Now, the final one seems to be the most exciting, though also the most unclear at this point, which is Synapse, which apparently appears to be some kind of player versus player, or some kind of like MMO type game. Now, I have also been seeing this refuted a bit, in that some people are already taking it as being an MMO in the style of like World of Warcraft or something, whereas others are saying it's more of a Splatoon type online multiplayer event or multiplayer competitive experience. In any case, it seems to be an online geared Pokemon game that, you know, could have larger ramifications. Again, we don't know the details yet. There may be more to come out soon. If there is, again, we probably won't be following up on this. So there you go. That's pretty much the Pokemon news in a nutshell. Again, that's pretty much the extent of what we'll be covering here, even if there is more to come. There's probably been more coming out since I even started making this video. It's been coming in hot as I've been, you know, looking into this myself. But again, I wanted to report on it largely because it's already everywhere. I already came across it multiple times myself without even looking for it. But if there's anything else to come of this, unless it's truly earth-shattering, we likely won't be covering it, but you know, there are other sources I'm sure will be. But again, I would not recommend looking into these files themselves yourself, given the nature of how these files were accessed. Again, we don't know all the details of this yet. All the details we put here are preliminary. They are subject to change, especially because, you know, these have not been officially announced, and it is always possible the final product and results are going to be very different from what we reported here. But for now, that's all we've got for you. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you think of this Gigaleak for Pokemon, this Pokéleak, if you will, and what your thoughts are on what some of this news may be. On that note, we'll catch you later. Bye, everyone.